Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Hyrie from On the Hot Podcast. Today I have some bonus content for you guys. We're going to be talking about MLB. We're going to be talking about baseball. So today's bonus content I have for you guys, I will be sharing what I think is the biggest storyline in the MLB season today. And the biggest storyline to me is about my team and the Pinstripes, the best team in New York and the best team in MLB today. I'm going to be talking about the New York Yankees. They have been the hottest topic of baseball. They have been the biggest story this year in baseball. So I just talked about the Yankees being the best team in New York, and I think they're the best team in the league. There are a lot of great teams right now when you talk about who is the best in the MLB right now. You have teams of the second best team, I believe, in New York. You have the New York Mets, who are looking phenomenal hitting and pitching wise. I think they're up there in discussion for best team. You have the Houston Astros, who I will talk about in a few moments, but they are one heck of a ball club. They are one heck of a team. And then you have the LA Dodgers, who have just as, I would say, that most loaded roster in baseball right now. I think those teams are the four best. But when you talk about the New York Yankees, they are separated themselves from the pack as of right now, and are considered by a lot of people watching in the Maryland area are Orioles fans. But you guys have to admit that the New York Yankees are the best team in baseball right now. They have had one of the hottest starts to a baseball team in MLB history, starting off the season very high at 53-20. And they started off, and this is coming from starting off the season at 5-5. Started off 5-5 in their first 10 games played, and they sit up at the top of the American League and the National League with the best record in baseball at 53-20. It's pretty remarkable, and it's gonna be really interesting to see what the Yankees do when the second half of the season starts after All-Star break in a few weeks. See if they can keep this up, keep this momentum going. So, a team I just mentioned as one of the best, they had their ups and downs in their series against the Houston Astros, being a 4-game series where Thursday we got we were the better team on the field on Thursday. Friday and Saturday didn't go our way, and definitely didn't go our way counting from Saturday, because the Astros actually held us to a no-hitter, shut us out completely yesterday in yesterday's game, and did a pretty good job against us defensively, not allowing us to have a single hit in 16 innings. But great teams find a way to succeed and win when you're facing a huge amount of adversity, and that's what the New York Yankees did today. Pick up a huge win to tie the series against the Houston Astros. I dislike the Houston Astros a lot. You guys already know how I feel about that when I do talk about the Astros, but the Yankees fought hard and picked up a good win today against a great ball club in the Houston Astros. But this New York Yankees team has been flirting with the idea of being a World Series champion for the last 5 years, I would say. This Yankees team has been in contention. They've been one of the best teams, but they failed to get the job done, and haven't had the rosters that we've had since 2009 have been remarkable, have been outstanding talent that we had, and we have failed to win a World Series since 2009. So that's a big concern for me as a Yankees fan, and I believe we're on our quest to get another World Series and bring it back to the Big Apple this year. But taking a trip down memory lane and the failed attempts that we had over the last few years to get back to the world, at least back to the World Series, we failed against the Astros in the American League in 2017. We actually took the world by surprise because we were still collecting young talent. That is, if you guys remember, that is the year that we called up Aaron Judge, and he became a rookie sensation that year in 2017. But we lost in the American League the American League championship game. Second round, the following year in 2018, we lost in the second round against the Red Sox. They did go on to win the World Series that year, but we lost to them in the second round in 2018. And then we lost in the American League championship game, our championship series against the Astros in 2019. Really wish we didn't, because as you guys know, I am a Washington Nationals fan, so I would have got to experience my two teams going against each other on the grandest stage of them all a few years ago. But we failed to beat the Astros in 2019. Then you turn around in 2020, where the season had a lot of ups and downs, a shortened year, but we still lost and came up short against the Tampa Bay Rays. They won in 2020 in the second round, but they went on to play the Dodgers in the World Series that year. Didn't get it done, And then last year we got absolutely embarrassed by the guy who's the jersey I'm wearing right now. our ace in Garrett Cole, who I will also talk about in a few moments. But he got absolutely destroyed, absolutely embarrassed against the Red Sox in the wild card game last year. So this team looks completely different from all the other teams that I just named over the last few years when we came up short. I think the Yankees' attitude definitely had an attitude adjustment during the training camp or during the offseason as well. And they look like a rejuvenated team. They got a lot of great talent on this team that I will also talk about in a few moments. But the problem with the New York Yankees and the reason why they have now put together the missing pieces of the puzzle, but the reason why we haven't won a World Series or haven't been successful or hasn't taken the next step to be a championship ball club again, slow starts really killed us. And I'm glad we started off 5-5 this year. I was actually looking forward to a slow start this year because if you guys follow the New York Yankees, they always take a long time to find their stride, really get a feel for the ball, hitting the ball, and pitching-wise takes a long time to warm up on the mound. It normally takes the whole month of April that we play, and it probably takes the halfway point up to May or the end of May for the Yankees to finally find their stride. But this year they did not start off slow. They started off 5-5 and never looked back. So kudos to this Yankees team figuring it out. And I'm gonna knock on wood. The injury bug for the New York Yankees has not gotten to them yet. Over the last few seasons, around this time is where we lose our big stars, whether it's been Aaron Judge who wasn't healthy, Stanton who hasn't been healthy, Gary Sanchez in the past who's no longer with us on the Minneapolis Twins right now. I mean, Minnesota Twins, but no longer with us as well. So we've had a lot of stars injured around this time, and the New York Yankees are pretty healthy right now. So those are two things I think that were holding back the Yankees over the last few seasons. And also another key factor which was holding the New York Yankees back was their pitching. Over the last 5 years, like I just said, all those championship contending teams that we've had, all the rosters, all the players on our roster for the last 5 years that we've had in and out for the ball club, the only thing that's been holding them back has been pitching. We've had the dynamic hitters, we had the dynamic players that could do their thing in the outfield and play great defense, whether it's playing on the bases, shortstop, outfield, you name it. But pitching has been a problem, and now the pitching is we're one of the best pitchings, having one of the best pitching rotations in the whole entire league right now, American League and National League. So we have the lowest ERA, rarely allowing home runs, and we are the best team at avoiding walks this season. So pitching is doing one heck of a job. The guy who I'm wearing, Garrett Cole, the over $300 million man, is finally doing his thing on the mound. Yes, last year he got criticized for having sticky fingers, but he's not cheating on the mound this year. Nor, if he is, he hasn't gotten caught yet. But Garrett Cole is doing his thing on the mound, and Nestor Cortez is doing one heck of a job on the mound as well. I think those two pitchers right now are the best pitchers in baseball in the American League right now. They've done one heck of a job at the first half of the season for this New York Yankees team. And there's a lot of talk that Nestor Cortez is actually the best pitcher. There's actually a debate, and I will co-sign on this, that he is pitching better than Garrett Cole. So when you have arguably two aces on your team, and you have a ball club that's winning games left and right on a nightly basis, hitting the ball well, scoring runs, this is the best recipe to go with a 1-2 punch. Having great pitching and great hitting will get you far in the come October, come postseason time, and could possibly win us a World Series this year. So shout out to those guys, and shout out to the whole entire pitching staff. We're just going to keep getting better and better as with pitching rotation, I believe. You have all of our hitters: Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Joey Gallo, Stanton, Josh Donaldson, LeMahieu. Everybody's been doing their thing this year, hitting the ball and playing outstandingly. But the player that stands out the most to me, and it's his race to lose to become the American League MVP this year, is Aaron Judge. The man is having one heck of a season. Yes, I know he's doing the best he can to not only help this New York Yankees ball club potentially win a World Series this year, but for himself, because he is betting on himself. This is his contract year. Whatever happens, Aaron Judge is set to be a free agent by the end of the season. So he's balling out, and this could be an audition for other ball clubs if somehow, some way, the Yankees are delusional and do not give this man his money, because he's worth every dollar that he's asking for. if he keeps this up, he's on track to hit 60 home runs this season. Or it might even hit more than 60 home runs. Currently, he has 28 home runs with 56 RBIs. It's his race to lose. Yes. And on the content I did with my guy Vincent from the Vincent Moreland Show months ago, before the season started, we made our MVP predictions for the American League and the National League. And Aaron Judge, my pick was Mike Trout. My man pick was Mike Trout. But we both had discussions of Aaron Judge being the guy to win this award. So, Aaron Judge, it's your race to lose. If you keep this up, you might have one of the best seasons in MLB history. And was very clutch with a walk-off home run today against the Astros as well. So this man is doing MVP things. He's helping the New York Yankees to be exactly where they are right now with an outstanding record. About to hit the stride of All-Star Weekend. So this man is putting the team on his back right now. Definitely my vote for MVP right now in the American League. If the New York Yankees honestly keep this up, they're on pace to win. I'm going to say if they keep this up, including this, they got a good stretch of opponents coming their way. A good amount of good opponents, I should say, coming their way pretty soon. Played a really, like I said earlier in the segment, one heck of an Astros team. Split the series with them, but we keep this up, I'm going to say we can get to at least 112, 113 wins this season if we keep this up. But like I said, when I did do that content with Vincent from the Vincent Moreland Show, we did do a prediction of what the New York Yankees are going to look like. I said this is their year. The window could possibly close if we don't get to the World Series this year, or we don't come close to winning a World Series, or we don't get it done. I think our window is definitely closing fast. We have a lot of players past their 30s on our roster, and I think there's a lot of contract negotiations that will be going on besides Aaron Judge in the near future. So if you're gonna get it done, New York Yankees, this is your time. Your window is wide open, but it could close. It could fastly close if we don't close the deal this year and win a World Series, or at least play in the World Series game this year. But the prediction that I said, I'm still sticking with this, even though the Mets look really, really good in the National League. I still have the Dodgers coming out of the National League to play, and I said in the prediction video, I said it's either going to be the New York Yankees that they play, which is looking like that, or it's going to be the Toronto Blue Jays. And they could find their way back in the mix in our division. So I'm still sticking with the prediction. I think the Dodgers will make it out, and I think either the Yankees or Blue Jays will make it out in the American League. So that's good. I think that's going to be the World Series game this year. And hopefully my New York Yankees can play the Dodgers, a game that we should have got all the way back in 2017. But those cheating Astros prevented us from getting one heck of a World Series that year. But that is all the bonus content I have for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode. Oh, and also, make sure to check out episode 55 on our Instagram pages on Apple Podcasts as well. And thank you guys, as always, for watching and listening and supporting this podcast. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing out. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.